Welcome back here today on the beautiful campus of Florida Panhandle Technical College. Another in our series of what's going on in the community. And boy, have we got a treat for you today. We've got Miss Ciara Jones, currently the brand new career counselor for the Washington County School District, along with an old friend of the show, Joe Taylor, Washington County Superintendent of Schools. Everybody who's ever seen the show is going to recognize Joe. When we come back, we're going to talk about the exciting things happening in the school district today. It's a new school year, just barely a few weeks into it. The weather's shaping up. The football season is certainly shaping up. Our schools locally are doing quite well. Most important, exciting news, though, is educationally, Ms. Jones brings an excitement, a flavor, an ambiance to the table. We've got a brand new event coming up. If you've got kids that are in high school right now, you're certainly going to want to know about. At the end of the day, it's just some exciting news coming to you from Washington County School District. And when we come back, we're going to talk about all that and more, and we will be right back. Welcome back. As mentioned, our guest today is Ciara Jones, brand new career counselor for Washington County School District. Thanks so much for taking the time. Have not met you formally until today. See your name everywhere. You're certainly making a big splash in the school district. Joe Taylor, thank you so much for being part of this today. When Ciara reached out, and she actually reached out to me, which, I mean, I didn't know that anybody knew that I existed. She said, Joe Taylor, Superintendent of Schools, is going to accompany us. This gives us a great and a unique opportunity from your vantage point, from your perspective, to talk about some of these exciting things that we're here to talk about. First of all, welcome to Washington County. You're a Bonifay girl, I understand.
Yes, I am. I'm a Holmes County girl.
Okay. So tell me how you got to this point. Tell us a little bit about Ciara Jones.
Yeah. So I actually attended Chipley College. I graduated from Holmes County High School. And after, I actually played softball at Chipley for 2 years, and then I went on to continue my education, my bachelor's degree in communications at Jacksonville University, and decided that I wanted to do something in education. I was kind of unsure, wasn't sure really what my interests were, what I was interested in, what I valued, what my strengths were, and I had to have an internship. And so being a softball player, they said, listen, you need to really try to find something that's on campus that'll kind of work with your schedule. Well, long story short, I stumbled across the Career Center at Jacksonville University, and they tell me, hey, you want to be a career advisor? And so I thought, well, I guess for somebody who doesn't know what they want to do, maybe I'll be good at telling other people. So I was a career advisor for an entire year and loved it. Then I applied to the FSU Career Counseling Program in Tallahassee and had to do 2 internships. The first internship that I did as a career counselor was at Florida High in Tallahassee, and the second one, I knew I wanted to kind of get back home, get to the Panhandle, and I did it at Chipley High School. So that's how I got here, and interned at Chipley High School, and then now I'm the career counselor.
And in the pre-show, we talked briefly. You said that you played softball with an old friend of ours, of the show, and a friend of mine, certainly Royce Reagan, from over in Mariana.
Yes.
We have a unique situation right now, Ciara. It's a different world out there, certainly. At your tender age, you have had the experience of being in that educational community. So probably, despite your youth, you've seen firsthand some of the problems within our educational system, not the least of which is school debt when it comes to colleges.
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to say that going forward, there's not going to be the push, there's not going to be the strong emphasis on 4-year colleges as that we've seen in the past? In other words, more of an emphasis on that technical aspect, at least as a viable alternative.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing that I try to educate my students on is that college is not for everybody. So every student is individual. Every student comes from different backgrounds. And so everybody's path looks different. And so for some students, that's getting a certificate. For some students, that's doing more of the technical college or workforce development route. And then for some students, that's college and beyond. And so it's just educating students on what their options are and that there are options.
I know you've got an exciting event coming up, but before we talk about that, Joe, talk a little bit about Ciara. Talk about what she brings to the table and what your thought process was in this position.
Over time, the Department of Education has really pushed as far as career certificates. It's almost now a requirement for graduation that you need one. The district last year,
let me just interrupt you. You're saying that that's a requisite from the state?
Yes.
Wow. Talk about that for another second. Just tell us what that means.
Tallahassee, DOE, the Department of Education, when they look and they deal with major employers, they're concerned and they recognize at some level college is not for everyone. But at the same time, and you've seen from the storm, you've seen from all things, you need technical education, you need people with those careers, you need people with those skills. These aren't soft skills, these are actual skills. And it's nothing negative. And so now when you go to find a plumber or a bricklayer or any of those, they're not there anymore. And it's not negative to go into those industries. It's not, and so Tallahassee recognizes that, and their push is we need more of that. Now, these programs, some of them go down into middle school. We have Word Perfect. We have Microsoft. Microsoft is a big supporter of the career ed, and they are the ones, and a lot of times started the original funding through Tallahassee on these programs. Did they use it as a marketing, so every kid coming out of school had Microsoft credentials? Very potentially, very successful too, but also a very needed skill level. So even in the middle schools, you can get certificates that carry with you. And so when we looked at it, and over the years that we've seen it, dealing with curriculum, dealing with the directors, it's something we have to do better about this. We have to put emphasis, we have to focus on it. And when Ms. Jones came, and Ms. Jones was at Chipley High School, and she was at doing her internship, this was a person who fit the exact puzzle that we were looking for. This is what we need. We need someone that brings to the table a recognition of all of the things that are there, not on the pure education part, but to be able to say there's other avenues, there's other paths out there. And so that is what she brings so much.
And forgive me for interrupting you on that, but that's interesting. I don't know that the average person is aware of that, and that's a very positive aspect or as far as a requirement. So often we get stuck with the unfunded mandates and all of the negative stuff, but that seems to be one which is truly a good thing, especially in our world, being here on a technical college campus. And you were going to continue?
Some of the programs that you were talking about, and the program you offer here at FPTC, that can be a performing arts program. That can be that piece that is there. So now you can start swapping out. The state is recognized with the 18 credit option for graduation, for the things that are there. There's other avenues to get there. That is why you hear so many times about the paths, different paths to get to where do you want to go, which is a career. You want to be able to support. You want to be able to produce. You want to be able, when I say produce, for the community and society as a whole. So even Tallahassee says, well, what we can do is part of these, if you get a certificate here, it can go for this one. We actually have some that can interject for math, depending on the pathway that you take. And these pathways, and why it's so important in Ms. Jones' position and the other guidance counselor positions, is some of these you need to go rolling into 9th grade. What do I want to do? Now, are you able to change? Absolutely. You're not locked into anything. Several years ago, the state had pushed out a program that they wanted even in middle school, and they've moved closer back to that. Well, you need to declare a major. Well, what middle schooler truly knows what they want to do? And the perception was, well, this is locking my child into a path. No, it's not. Not by any means at all. But if education is the total sum of your experiences, and you can get more experiences in some of these programs working with hands, CTE, hands-on, like FPTC offers, that's what you need. We have so many nursing students who can take the CNA courses that's up here. You have them that can go into the pharmacy tech program. If you do have a vision and you do have a pretty good idea what you want, to be able to come here and get exposure to it, get experience, get hands-on things, not computer, not things, but actual hands-on experience working toward the testing for the state of Florida for certificate, that's what you want to do because of the very importance, what that means to you, what that means when you graduate, what that means if you're looking for a part-time job, for the exposure of it.
Well, Mike Rowe in his TV show Dirty Jobs, he put a magnifying glass on those skills which sometimes are a little easier to come by than a 4-year degree, but which pay multiple times more immediately. And we'll come back to that. You've got an exciting event coming up which basically shines a spotlight on all of these things that we're talking about. The opportunities afforded to those high school students, some of which they really need to be aware of before they get too much farther down that path. Talk a little bit about that event.
Yeah, so we're all really excited. The school district itself is super excited for this event. It's going to be a college fair. And so what that's going to basically consists of is any high school student in Washington County School District from grades 9 through 12 can attend the event. It's on September 30th from 6 to 8 o'clock at the Ag Center here in Chipley. And so students can come, they can meet with military recruiters, they can meet with workforce development programs, FPTC will be there, we'll have Chipola College there. Chipola College will even have a dual enrollment table set up. So if you're a 9th grader, 10th grader, you're thinking about dual enrolling, you can meet with them there too, and then we'll have some four-year universities too.
Yeah, in the pre-show, we talked briefly about those that you expect to be attending as displays. That's a huge list. I dare say there was a college in the region that was not going to have a presence there, and shame on them if they don't. Joe pointed out during that same conversation that it's a great opportunity for those military recruiters. Joe pointed out the fact that the military can offer one heck of an education and a leg up. You come out of that military, now you've got skills. Do we have problems? In other words, are we facing a situation where we're not producing enough people that want to go that route? We've got too many people complaining about their school debt. I'm not going to even address any of that stuff, but are we going down the wrong path, and is that the reason for some of this remedial action? Or is it just a resurgence of an awareness that, hey, we need plumbers as much as we need guys with degrees in philosophy?
And I think Mr. Taylor, he touched on something a minute ago that I'm very passionate about, and something that I've seen in my experience is we have students who are getting to the 11th and 12th grade, and you ask them the question, what are you interested in? And they look at you puzzled. And so one thing I think, even with my position, my role is to help these students in the 9th grade. What are your interests? What do you value in a career? What skills do you have? And how do those things, that self-knowledge piece that we talk about in career development, how does that align with these different career pathways? And so in 9th and 10th grade, if there's a student who says, I'm really interested in pharmacy. Okay, well, did you know that there was a pharmacy tech program over at the technical college here? Well, I'm not really wanting to go to a technical college. Well, let me educate you more on how this can benefit you when you do go the college route. And so I think the big piece is just educating students. I don't think students are against it. I think they truly deep down are excited about it. They just need somebody to kind of guide them and coach them along and show them how it's all about that pathway. Almost
a lack of an awareness.
Yes, sir.
More than anything. And shame on all of us, I guess, collectively, for not being out there and screaming from the rooftops, this is what we offer. Joe, certainly Ms. Jones is a great opportunity as the tip of the spear to start going down that path. What else, if anything, is the district doing in that direction? Or is this pretty much our focus right now as far as getting to those high school students?
Getting to the high schools, that's her main emphasis. She's in and out of the schools and doing those things. The guidance is still there. FPTC still does its outreach programs, which are very important. They have community events. They go within the schools. They make the offers. The one of the things that we have to do is make things real to parents. We had mentioned the military earlier. A lot of parents, sometimes their child gets up and they're operating on their own, and they're not really paying attention to what's going on, and then suddenly they finish up high school and go to college, and they get handed a bill for the books for $500 or $600 for about 3 classes, and they're going, what is this? Part of the dual enrollment that Ms. Jones speaks about, and part of the things that are there, if the students stay in school and they stay a student of the Washington County School District, I buy the books, the district buys the books, the district pays the tuition. So even if you think, well, if we go to Chipola State College, that'll be approximately $117 an hour. You can go for a class or two. What's $500 or $600 to see if this is what you like interest, right until you get handed that $500 or $600 bill for a book. So, the things, it's all about exposure of letting them know. You can come to the FPTC and figure out, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. And then you can choose another path where you're not locked in on any choice, any path that you go to.
I know that you're relatively new in the position. When did you actually start?
So I started the position in the first day of school. So what was that? August? I can't even remember. It's been a few weeks. So about 3 weeks now I've been in the position and really enjoying it. I've already alone within this past 3 weeks, I've seen 90 drop-in career appointments. So when I say drop-in career appointments, what I mean by that is I've seen 90 students who have came in and said, Ms. Jones, I need help with signing up for the ACT. I want to look at the programs at the technical college. I'm not really sure what I want to do after high school.
Those are good calls.
Yes, sir.
Those are the calls you want to get. They're asking specific questions.
Yes, sir.
They're asking questions from an informed position.
Yes,
they
sir.
know what they don't know.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes that informed incompetent is what you're looking for. We say in most careers we start off as an unconscious incompetent because we don't know what we don't know.
Yes, sir.
We become smarter when we find out what we don't know, and so that's where these kids are coming from. And nothing derogatory in that statement at all. They're just starting to realize, wait a minute, I don't know, and so that makes that's probably your perfect candidate.
Oh, yes, definitely. I love when students, and that's why I tell them I have an open door policy. My door is always open. Come see me. If you're not sure, I think sometimes students, they get nervous or scared to come in and say, like, I don't know what I want to do. It can oftentimes be embarrassing. I think too, seniors sometimes, they get embarrassed by that. And I tell them, I say, I come from my own personal standpoint. I say, as a senior, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to be here to help you figure out what it is you want to do. What are you passionate about? And we do that through, I have students create a My Career Shines account. They take career assessments, which they love. We do a hall and party game. They find out what their personality Holland code is, and they enjoy that. And so, again, I think I come from a very strong self-knowledge standpoint of we can't dive into choosing a major or a career until they kind of figure out what they're interested in.
Sure. Now, you come from that luxury of having been at that internship at Chipley High School.
Yes, sir.
Certainly others before that, and now you've just started this. Are you informed enough about where you're at to be able to know where you'll be a year from now?
No, sir. I mean, I'm honestly taking it day by day. I love what I'm doing right now. I truly feel like I question myself sometimes. I'm like, is this a real job? That's how much I enjoy it. Like, I'm truly doing what I went to school. I went to school to be a career counselor, and that's exactly what I'm getting to do. I'm getting to work with students. I'm getting to help motivate them because some students need that. Some students need someone to say, come on, you've got this, like to help motivate them and to be that kind of guidance and support for students. So.
It may be an unfair question with your boss sitting next to you, but what kind of support are you getting from the district?
I have got nothing but support from the school district. They have been, anytime I've had questions, this event in itself, they have been so gung-ho about, so excited about, any way they can help and be involved. Mr. Taylor, anything that I've had, he's been there. He's accepted all my calendar invites to all the events I'm going to have this semester. And so I think that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to be in the school district. I wanted to be there because it really impressed me whenever I played a senior night as an intern. And Mr. Taylor went, and that was very impressive to me that he took time out of his schedule to be there. And so that was something that I really liked, and they've been nothing but supportive.
I would dare say that would be a necessity in the position in which you find yourself. You have to have that total and unequivocal support.
Definitely.
So we're talking Monday, September 30th.
Yes, sir.
6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
If you're a high school student, more importantly, if you're a parent of a high school or even a middle school student at this point, check it out. You're saying 9th to 12th grade, but I would imagine you're not going to turn anybody away in Washington County who wants to just find out more,
of course,
even at a more young, tender age.
Of course.
You're talking about most of the major colleges, four-year colleges, technical colleges, dual enroll opportunities, even military opportunities. What else do they need to know about that night, or is that pretty much it in a nutshell? No,
definitely. You hit all the important things. I do want to make sure that I share. We're going to have an ACT and SAT prep organization that'll be there because we are going to have 9th and 10th graders. I've had ACT has been going on. It's been hot and heavy right now. I've had tons of students saying, I need to sign up for ACT. Do you know any prep courses? We're actually going to have Wiregrass ACT prep course. They actually run a 6-week ACT prep course. So they'll be there, hand out flyers. Students can get information on SAT, ACT prep. We'll also have information on financial aid, paying for college, which is super important. That's why parents, this is huge for you. Come out. It's going to be a nice, relaxed event. You can go through, meet all the recruiters, come and go as you please. Don't feel like you have to stay all 2 hours. This is truly for you and for your student.
Well said. Joe, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I'm impressed. The feedback that we've got on Ms. Jones, she spoke with other groups, all of the things within the business community, very positive, because this is something our guidance counselors in the schools, with the directions that the state has taken, has been removed from some of this. They are not able to get as close to as what they used to be able to because of the testing requirements and their own requirements on this one. And so it was very important to the district that not as a leg for the schools, but to help within the schools themselves. And Ms. Jones moves from school to school and offers different avenues, different conversations, different things with all of them, the very importance of it.
Thanks for joining us today. When Ciara contacted us, she said Mr. Taylor would like to sit in on that, and I was very happy to hear that. I think, again, as I said at the beginning, you bring a distinct viewpoint and can answer some of those questions. Anything at all that we forgot to talk about?
Just thank you for having me. I'm excited. Parents, students, if they have questions, they can reach out to me. We have posters all at the school. We're going to have it on social media, and so we're really excited for the event. We're hoping to have a really good turnout. So yeah.
Thanks so much to both of you for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. And we are here. We are part of the school district right here as we sit.
Yeah.
So we are at your disposal. And I'd like to say it even more strongly than that. Anytime at all that you have something to say to our audience,
Yes,
you need to come.
Okay.
The school district right now is paying for this building, for this air conditioning, and eventually for this equipment. And so, this is what we do. So good to meet you finally
meet you
today,
too.
and look forward to seeing you. And thanks for being here.
All right. Thank you.
That's Monday, September 30th at the Washington County Ag Center on Highway 90 right here in downtown Chipley, 6 to 8 p.m. Relatively short and sweet. If you're a high school student, tell your parents they need to accompany you. If you're a parent of a high school student, grab them, tell them no, they can't sit in the chair and be on their device that night. This is something that you're surely going to be glad that you did. Opportunities galore, but you got to be there to recognize them, to see them, and to take advantage of them. We'll be right back.